company, you might see short term some bump in that.
Okay.
I think, the way that they sort of eliminate a lot of the little stuff, a lot of the management and some of the way they're operating the business, you might see a little bump there, but from a revenue perspective, I don't think you'll see what you've seen in the past.
Oh. Can I ask one thing? Cost inflation, wages going up and minimum wages and so on. How does that impact the business?
Well, again, the one thing is you got to capture those dollars, and that's a very difficult thing to do. So I think they're scrambling to try to capture those dollars, and in turn, it puts a lot of pressure on the client. So the client, they might not get any money back. They all of a sudden have all these wages to deal with, so they might look at anything they can find to make up those dollars. And one of them might be, okay, let's analyze the housekeeping, laundry, dining departments to do it. So as a whole, they'll say it's fine, but I think it puts a lot of pressure overall on the margins and things. And I know this year they walked in to the year saying, we need to figure this out. So they're really hitting the clients up hard on increases, which creates a lot of uneasiness, especially with the bigger clients, because the product that they have in the facilities isn't as strong to back that up. So they'll say, okay, I'm not going to pay all this money. I'll just do it myself. I'll look at a competitor. Let's just sort of see how this thing all works out. Healthcare Services Group does have usually the best pricing, but again, you're on a razor thin, scenario there, because if something happens with increase in wages or anything like that, then it starts to go down, and then it has a major impact on what they're doing. So when you start going back for more money, then they start saying, what the heck? This is why we hired you in the first place. You control our costs.
Yeah.
So it's
sorry to interrupt you there, but did I understand it right? Just please correct me if wrong, but in the beginning of the year, they felt they had problems and they had to pass these on, and they are doing that to clients. The clients are upset about it, and it's causing uneasiness.
Yeah, a lot of uneasiness. Yep. About right.
Who do you think will win out in the passing of inflation? Do you think HDSG are going to have to eat it in their margins, or do you think they'll manage to pass it on?
I think, like I said, I think the initial push, I think they're going to be okay for a minute. I think the long-term effect, they'll have some issues with.
Yeah.
On that point, James, the company explains to us that labor inflation is never a problem because they don't increase wages for their employees unless the client increases the wages of their own staff in a facility. And then the healthcare services employees get the same increase, and the client pays that price increase fully. Is that just a misrepresentation of how things work in the contracts, or you feel? I
think there's inconsistencies to it.
Sorry?
There's inconsistencies to it. I think there is some where it's pretty simple. Where like in Chicago, there's the union will negotiate. You got a 3% comment. You go to the clients. A lot of them will evaluate again. When you go in there, they'll say, okay, I'll give you the 3%, but I'm going to take a look at what I'm spending here, and you deal with that. But it's never like cut and dry. There's never just the increases went through, we get them. It's never a simple process.
Okay, very clear. The cost takeout that they've done and the margin expansion that you expect, do you think most of that has already happened in 2017, or you think they have taken measures to really see 2018, 2019 margins be stronger?
Well, I don't think there's any long-term thought process. I think their budget process has changed a lot. So how they're budgeting the buildings, all that, again, from a field-based operation to a corporate-based operation, that has changed a lot. So I think there's challenges in capturing a lot of that, especially as you move throughout the country. But the goal is to say, okay, this is where the budgets are. This is what we're doing. And I think they're capturing a lot of that now. And again, there's so many variables when you start doing it. When you start streamlining staff, you got a lot of dissatisfied customers, and it creates a lot of uneasiness. But in turn, you'll see that's what I said, I think you'll see a bump in their margins for a minute. But I think overall, they're going to probably lose some clients based off of that approach. You know what I mean? Because it's more of a, cut and dry approach, not a lot of partnership with the organizations that they work with, and that usually puts them in a bad place.
So that bump, do you think we've seen it already in 2017, or do you think we'll see it